And there's a new voice channel for whispers in case I need to talk to one person without everyone else hearing.
Oh, that's goated. That's
you are using Discord to its full extent, my brother.
So if you want to speak to just one person, we join that channel.
So I'll say join the whisper channel, and then, for example, Louis join it.
Oh, scary.
So what we've learned is the videos are always from Yeg's perspective.
Yeah, now it is actually just exclusive.
This is a full Yeg playthrough of D&D, guys.
POV your Yeg in this world, basically.
Unfortunately, I have not worked out a way to record the Whispers channel for OBS, but it could just be our little secret. Perfect. So last session we had, I can hear, I'm assuming it's Fred, I can hear myself.
Let me turn it down.
So last session we had our attack on Mortuous. You guys began your journey, spent the evening at the F4 tribe just for a quick rest on your journey, where conversations were had with various people. You arrived at Mortuous, where the main bulk of the fighting force was ambushed by hordes of undead, reanimated Ankhegs and necromancers. Valandor and Ciara sort of went back to back and carved you through an opening where you guys jumped through a burrow hole of one of these Ankhegs and found yourself in Mortuous. You had a small fight on the staircase heading down towards the prison, where you found a elven woman named Phalar, who seemed to want to join you guys on a quest for revenge. But the next thing that happened was a bunch of darkness, and she was basically found there dead, and you saw JPJ standing over her body. You then entered a room with a riddle/trap that needed a bit of help from Ganfal, which was pretty much his last contributions to the party, because then you reached the ziggurat, climbed up to the temple above, and you had your fight with Vilgefortz, where he used some sort of ancient dark energy that was encased in a crystal to power word kill Ganfal. You notice as well that he had a second one, but you managed to defeat him before he used that second one, with his final moments being in between the hands of Zarlok as he crushed his head within his hands, pretty much. And that's about it. We pick up directly afterwards in the ziggurat. Zarlok and JPJ, you stand above Vilgefortz. His body beneath you, his skull kind of crushed. His head is still intact, so not complete mush just yet, but the skull is cracked in many places, blood leaking out, and as he took his last breath, you noticed a shadowy black essence sort of seep out from his eyeballs, his ears, his nose, his mouth, and has now dissipated away into the shadows, unseen.
Can I... Are you saying just Fred noticed that, or did we all notice that?
You all notice that. You all notice that at that point.
Immediate Arcana check on whatever that was.
Make an Arcana check. It is reminiscent of the same energy you felt when you were fire gazing that few days ago on this area. It was the version you felt in the fire gazing was slightly more diluted, and even as that essence sort of slips away, you felt that was a lot more raw and concentrated. But it is now slowly dissipated and disappeared and is no longer present where you guys are.
Okay, so Jan, I've got a question. Is this like a little table thing?
Yes, if you want to make investigation checks to see what you guys notice on the table and on the surrounding areas, everyone is welcome to make investigation checks. I'll tell you what you guys find.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm going to start ritual casting Identify.
On
the bead he's got.
Are you going to do an investigation check first, Gildor, or are you going to be doing this whilst everyone else is investigating on your behalf?
I want to specifically identify that object, and I'll do an investigation check on the room itself, like what I'm looking around for, like what can I see, basically.
Wait, could you remind me what this bead is again?
It's not a bead. It's more of like a black gem.
Stone, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
it's a stone. It's a gem. It's raw. It's rough. It's uncut. It's not like a diamond where it's cut with beautiful straight lines. It's very raw and jagged and it's a rough diamond in a sense, and it is.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he slam another one of them into his chest mid-fight?
No, he slammed the first one into his chest and absorbed the power at the start of the fight, and never got to do the second one because Zarlok got over to him before he managed to activate it. So make your investigation check first, Gildor, because obviously it takes you 10 minutes to identify. So they'll say what you find in your investigation check first. Oh, you made it, sorry, 10. Yeg, you get distracted by a fly flying around, and you start thinking of some songs that you could like Free Fly, or kind of like Free Bird, but more Free Fly. Gildor, investigating the room. The main thing you notice are these alchemical spheres. They are contained within them is this green swirling energy. And as you look at them a bit more closely, every now and again, you see almost a face in the green, shadowy sort of vapors within, and then the face disappears, and then a different face appears and disappears again. You also notice that this alchemical setup is not just these orbs. There is, to the side, almost like, kind of like a kiln, very small, where there is residues of shadow glass, and then that kiln is connected to this alchemical sphere in some sort of way, where the energy within this sphere and the thing created in this kiln are combined to create something. On a 10, you can't quite work out exactly how it all works, but you work out that there is some correlation between the things being made in this kiln and the alchemical sphere with this green vapor. Jaff, on an 18, you rifle through the desk and you find a bunch of different notes. You also see another scrying eye. Do you want to look towards the scrying eye or look at the notes first?
Oh, I'm going to go scrying eye first.
Oh, fuck.
Naturally, it's what he said.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, that was instinctual.
So you look at the scrying eye, and again, it is this very black, purpley, umbral sphere. And as the shadows sort of dissipate, you see a different image from the one you looked in the first time. The first time you saw a shadowy black claw sort of tear at you. In this one, you see a luxurious bedroom, very beautiful, ornate. There are drapings and trims of green and gold. That seems to be the theme of this. I would ask, is it just you, Jaff, looking at this at the moment, or is anyone else having a look at this whilst you're looking at it?
Oh, I think we all are, surely.
Those that are, could you make a history check for me? Except for you, Jaff, could you join me in the Whispers chat, please?
It's just a fly buzzing around.
Zarlok couldn't give a shit about anything that's in the fucking... anything that's in the room.
Good attitude, Zarlok. Good attitude, mate. So, what did I have for dinner?
Zarlok, what's up, dude? I haven't spoken to you much. You frighten the fuck out of me.
Do agree. Do you feel any satisfaction after crushing my dad's skull, or?
That was the greatest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Okay. So, do you think we'll find the next warrior? Do you think, or you just kind of want to go straight to the top, don't you? You just want to find
warrior
numero uno.
after warrior,
after
warrior.
On a 16, Gildor, looking at the gold and the green drapings, you have deduced that this is the royal house of Azuran, the obviously royalty that rules Azureth, descended from the great warrior Azuran. That's what the colours sort of symbolise. You assume that that's the same colours used in the sigil, and a house and a room of this beauty and extravagance. It makes sense that this is some chambers or bedrooms within the royal house of Azaran.
Where is the royal house of Azaran based? On the map?
In North Spire. So I'll quickly just put the map. It is in North Spire, which is the capital, which is basically built. The map doesn't really do it justice. North Spire is built into the side of Brimstone Peak. It's sort of very Lord of the Rings-esque, where it is a city that is built into the side of the mountain, and as you increase in elevation, you kind of increase in wealth and class. The upper class live higher up, the lower class live lower down, and at the very top, close to the base of the Brimstone Peak, not to the very top of the peak, but close to the top of the peak is where the capital, where the palace, the royal palace of North Spire is, the Palace of Azaran. With your identify...
wait. So we're looking through the scrying eye, and we this room.
You see this room, and it seems quite still for a moment, and then weirdly, you notice movement, as in the drapes start. The windows are closed. You know, there's no like draft or anything, but the drapes move as if there's a presence there. You can't really work out what is making it move. And after a few seconds, the scrying eye starts to rotate, and it looks almost like it's someone's moving it and turning it, but you can't see a presence or a person until the scrying eye is facing against the wall, and the image goes dark and black.
Someone invisible, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
It looks like a duck.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a great. I like that phrase.
I'm gonna pocket the scrying eye and then open up some of these notes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Can we be tracked by that, Jaff?
That doesn't,
let me have a
doesn't
look
inspire confidence, Jaff.
Yeah. I don't know.
So there are a few different things. There is a thick leather-bound tome, and it is an encyclopedia on gods and deities and history of the gods. And there is a small ledger of notes as well that have been written by Vilgefortz, as said. And on your 18 investigation, I'll also say that underneath all of these like piles of notes and this book and this ledger, for example, there's a small bit of parchment poking out. It's older than the rest. It's more rustic, more like papyrus than parchment. And it's dusty and it looks like it hasn't been touched in a while, but for some reason it has been kept there. Of the three things you found, what do you want to look at first? The papyrus, the ledger, or the encyclopedia?
The papyrus parchment that looks like it's been there the longest.
Okay, so you go and pick up the papyrus and you realise it's a letter. And the handwriting is quite pretty and beautiful. And this is what the letter says. It says, "My love, my heart breaks seeing your descent into dark magic and villainy. The rest of the tribe think you are lost beyond the point of return. I disagree. I know there is good in you. Whatever dark curse is clouding you, we can overcome it together. Also, there is something you must know. Meet me at our spot by the river. I promise you I mean no harm. Your love, always, Fallon."
Gildor's full crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was potentially thinking about maybe seeing if I could make it so Gildor didn't see that.
He's already
good for him.
He's already seen it.
If you say you've hid that from me, I'm absolutely fine. I don't mind if you don't show me.
Can I make a stealth check to see if I can?
We'll say sleight of hand versus Gildor. What's your passive perception?
Oh, that's a great question.
It should just be 10 plus your wisdom modifier, so I think it's 12.
My passive perception is 16.
Whoa.
16?
Right.
So you've got to be a 16 sleight of hand.
Oh.
Jesus.
You sort of pick up that piece of parchment, read it, and as you're sort of rearranging the other stuff, you sort of flick it up your sleeve and keep it hidden away from everyone else, and no one else has read this apart from you. Jaff.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna hold on to that for now. Can we then go through the notes from Vilgefort, please?
Yep. So there's sort of two parts to the ledger. The first part is notes on the ziggurat itself, which basically is it's a scale drawing of the ziggurat. It is meticulously detailed. Every single brick is measured, every carving, every rune detailed with the exact angle and the depth of each carving, and underneath are the following notes. All bricks are made of enhanced shadow glass. The process of this enhancement is long and arduous, but there are no shortage of souls due to the workers in the mines. Enhanced shadow glass shall be sent to the capital every 3 months, with the final shipment due before the Lundus Crest Festival. This will give us ample time to complete the reconstruction before the time is upon us. And you guys remember the Lundus Crest Festival was the festival you guys had when you were in Emberfield. So it was about probably at this point about a week ago, because obviously after the Crest Festival you went to Timberwatch and then you went to Dawnhaven and then you came here. So probably about a week ago was when the Lundus Crest Festival was.
This one I'm not going to be kind of slick with, and I'm going to give this to the rest of the group.
Good, I've been making notes.
Make the rest of the group known of this. They're definitely performing some kind of ritual with this, whatever this is. There's a ritual going on here.
So we've missed the Lundus Crest Festival. That has been and gone, has it?
That has been and gone, yep. But obviously, you did notice that they say that they need to then complete reconstruction. So it's not like you've missed the ritual. But you've missed the final shipment of.
Don't panic, Zarlok. Don't panic, Zarlok. We're not missing it.
Before the time's upon you. But yes, there's still some reconstruction to be done.
There's a ritual afoot, methinks.
This is screaming ritual to me.
The second
you know
part
what?
Of the ledger,
for some reason, I think there might be a ritual there.
the second part of the ledger is notes on some other stuff. It says that the power of the primordials is truly terrifying. Something more ancient than the gods is hard to control. The relic of Kellenvor will be necessary for control. Another line. Its soul must be in the Shadowfell. No afterlife can hold the soul of something so powerful. It must be with the Raven Queen. But what is her purpose for it? The sorcerer wishes to handle that one personally. I heard rumours its heart is in the Hells. A powerful archdevil won it in a game of cards against an exiled archfey. And finally, where is the body? Our friend in the capital is certain of its location, but why won't he divulge it to me? After all my research and loyalty, I thought I would have gained the respect of those three. Perhaps it is related to the timing of the ritual. Curious.
Okay. So I think what's going on here is they need the shadow glass to revive this thing. Potentially Kellenvor. The soul is in the Shadowfell. Heart is in the Nine Hells. Something to do with Kellenvor, whether or not it's Kellenvor himself or something to do with it, is also necessary. And then they're looking for the body, and they're going to use the shadow glass and the enhanced shadow glass or whatever, and basically just attempt to revive whatever this thing is.
Do we know who Kellenvor is? Sorry,
God of death.
Yeah, I'll say make a religion check, and I'll say, Jaff, if you want, you can make it with advantage because the encyclopedia you have is to do with gods and deities.
Well, can I just whip that open?
I've got nothing to pull up for that one. More of that. Yeah.
Not religious.
Can I just
man,
whip that open and go to the Kellenvor section?
Reading through. It's a very big, dusty tome. It goes into detail on lots of the gods, but you can just feel from the folding of the corners where the page has been opened to most, and most of the top places that the book has been opened to has been to the chapters detailing the 12 prime gods. So they're also known as the they're also known as the Pantheon of Dawn, and they were the first 12 gods, and are kind of revered as the more powerful and most popular of the gods. You guys would know this. It's very classic religion in your area, and you would know that the 12 gods are Melora, the Verdant Mother, who is the goddess of nature and beauty and those sort of realms, and her divine realm is just like that. It's beautiful green hills, it's orchards and stuff like that. You have Umberlee, who is the tide bearer, the goddess of the shifting tides, the storms. You have Beshaba, the trickster goddess. Telos, the Tempest Sovereign, who is a god of conquest and warriors. Mishra, the goddess of the weave, of the loom, of possibility, of foresight, dreams, magic. You have Bane, the Iron Tyrant, who is the god of tyranny. You have Kelemvor, who is the god of death. He's the keeper of the veil. He is the one that judges all of the souls of the dead. You also know that he isn't dead, or he is alive. All these gods are alive in some sort of way. And he's not evil. He's not good. He's neutral. He resides in an evil plane, but he himself is neutral. And he is the judge of all souls in the afterlife. You have Ao, who is the god of balance. He's completely neutral, also known as a silent arbiter. You have Tyr, the lawgiver. He is the god of order and bravery and justice. You have Moradin, the Forge Keeper, the god of the Forge, one of the patron gods of the dwarves. And then the two that you know of that are differently referenced in this book, you have usually Solareth, who is the Dawnfather, the god of the sun and light and goodness. But his name has been crossed out and replaced with the name Azuran. And then you have Noctis, who is, let me just go to the quick notes, where is it? Noctis, the Shadow Lord, who is the god of darkness, of evil, of fear. But his name has been crossed out and replaced with the name Quinlan, Quinlan.
So, looking back at the ledgers that Jan has put in the chat, the handouts, there is the original Tale of Shadow and Light, which basically says 6 dragons, 2 strongest were Umbrasil and Atraxes.
Yeah.
One was good, one was bad. They fought forever until they nominated 2 champions. One of them was that Quinlan Branthus. He was the evil guy that Jan just mentioned. The other one was Human Hero of Azuran. The battle lasted a whole year, only ending when one dragon sacrificed itself to destroy the other. Yeah. So, in this ledger that we're looking at on screen...
That's a great fucking pull from you there. Mystical for you page pull.
My divination is going crazy right now. A working theory, because I can't work out what the top line's got to do with it. Are they trying to reconstruct one of the dragons, probably the evil one? I don't know. They're talking about its soul, a heart, and its body.
That's a fucking exceptional
Holy
shout.
shit, dude. You are such a fantastic addition.
That's a really good shout, Louis.
I mean, the only thing I can't work out is what primordials have got to do with it. I mean, it says there's something more ancient than the gods, and the gods are struggling to control them. So it's one of those things where, would it be redundant if they brought this dragon back, but primordials could kill it anyway? So...
Well, we've
met one, haven't we? We met one in the cave.
Yeah, he was a titan, which is a primordial being, and his wife is missing.
What? What?
Do you not remember? He gave us a little task, and he was, because we asked him a couple of questions, and then we kind of got chill with him, and we're just bantering with him, and then he was like, by the way, my wife is missing.
We said we'd look for his wife if we bumped into her, if it suited the party. which was honestly looking back kind of one-sided to say, if we find your wife on our way, we will help.
We'll
And
judge whether or not we.
I just want to say as well.
That's
they're talking about primordials and his fucking wife is missing. I feel like there's some kind of correlation there, no?
Yeah, it easily could be. I'm only to be honest. While I've got everyone's attention, I don't want to take full credit for this. A lot of this has been like Zarlok in the background talking to me about it, and I just someone says a joke and you just say it again but louder, and everyone laughs. That's what's going on here. That's a lot of this is.
If there's one thing I know about Zarlok, it's how much he loves the lore, so I don't doubt that for a second.
You actually missed the key bit of roleplay while you're in the Whispers room. Yeah, there's a lot of character stuff to be addressed when we get out of this lore dump, I must say. Jaff and Zarlok included. Okay.
I will just say, by the way, the Tale of the Light and Shadow is like a children's book. It's a story of creation that is read to children. It's like a fairy tale. It's a fantasy. Most scholars don't believe in it. They associate the beginning of the world to the gods. It's not unknown. It's sort of a nice history story of how Azureth came to be, how the world came to be, but most scholars don't believe its authenticity.
Has Jaff read all of the notes, or are there more?
I believe that's everything. Just double check that I haven't forgotten anything in my thing. Nope, you read everything.
Do we wanna grab? Well, yeah. Yeg, you grab Ganfal.
I'll grab him. He's small enough for me to grab him.
I turn to Zarlok and say, "Would you mind carrying my dad's body? I wanna at least." Take him back and give him a proper burial.
Yeah, and it's only fair that you do it because you were the one that killed him. So.
Yeah, you did kill him.
Yes, indeed, sir.
Okay. We will.
By the way, at this point, your identify spell has finished casting.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. Honestly, when you're like on your commute home and you see something so fucking mental and think, I don't even have the energy to address that. It's what's going on right now with the fact that someone in my party turned into a demon and killed a woman in front of me, and the biggest idiot in the party is now talking like he's a doorman at the Ritz. So please let me cast this identify spell and we can go.
Can you just quickly put the identifier description in the chat for me? I want to see how much it can actually garner in the situation.
Oh my god, he's doing it now as well.
It's definitely magic. But it's not a magic you recognize. It is not of the weave. Again, it seems to be a stored version of this ancient pre-weave, pre-gods power that is there to be manipulated, but it also seems to have a sort of will of its own, and you just couldn't get the vibe that trying to manipulate this will be difficult, and it gives off just a very chaotic, evil presence.
Okay, piggybacking off my identifier, I'm going to ask you a very simple question. If I pick this up and put it in my pocket, would it do anything to me?
You do not know from your identify spell what would happen if you picked it up with your hands.
What is this? Just black goo?
It's a gem.
Oh, the gem.
I'm going to mage hand it. I'm going to mage hand it into like Jaff said, a bundle of cloth, and put it in like a satchel on my belt or something.
Cool, you do so. It seems to be okay.
Right. Boys, are we happy here?
Let's get the fuck out of Dodge.
Quickly on our way out, how like these weird things, I feel like we kind of breezed over.
Well, no, I didn't say anything about them because I was distracted by a fly.
Yan, can I put two and two together here and be like, this is the creating of the enhanced shadow glass with this like kiln and everything?
Yeah, there's shadow glass residue in the kiln, and it is set up to almost pass through the the shadow glass through this alchemical setup. It's much more complex. There's like pipes and boiling tubes, and there's like little siphons and stuff that all produce a long process that you can assume is perhaps used to enhance this shadow glass.
Right, okay. Yeah, okay, let's get the fuck out of Dodge then.
I mean, quickly before we leave, I'm going to turn to sort of Yeg and everyone and say, like, do we leave this place here? Do we blow it up, or
Can
we just leave?
I think it's best to usually leave these places as you found them, kind of thing. It's polite and it's like doesn't leave any tracks.
I think you're right. I think maybe we just turn it over to the authorities type thing.
Yeah.
Get back upstairs.
Yeah,
Tell,
I'm sure no one will use it for evil. Usually, I think the best of people.
I say we blow this place up.
Okay. Well, I'm going to vote against you, Zarlok. I've got to be honest.
And I'm automatically against it. So
I would probably also say leave this for the elves.
Well,
Boring.
I'm glad we're still a democracy.
As Zarlok goes to pick up the body of Vilgefortz, his staff that was in his hand sort of clatters to the floor. And Gildor, you look at it and you recognize from just drawings and descriptions that you've seen in books that this is the staff of the Master of the Mages. However, it is slightly rotted. It's made of like a twisted wood. And you just see that the fibers of the wood are like rotted and with like a necrotic energy, and you can make an Arcana check for me. You just feel like there is a corruption to it. It's usually a staff that is extremely powerful but used to do good. You feel like whatever has corrupted this is making it something otherworldly negative.
I'm gonna pick the staff up.
Cool. You pick it up.
Excellent.
No reaction.
I'll sort of put it on my back or slide it for a holster, and I'll address that later.
So you guys begin your journey out, back up the staircase, all the way to the surface, and you reach the exterior of the volcano, where the rest of the fighting force are waiting, in a sense. They have dispatched the last of the necromancers and the reanimated beings. There has been some heavy losses, lots of injuries. There are members of the different tribes they have that have been unfortunately killed during the combat. And as you're sort of walking around and surveying the scene, and a few of you are trying to help tend to some wounds of those that are injured. Yeg, you notice the young lady that taught you the art of blade singing is amongst the dead.
No!
Oh god, I forgot her name. I did write it down. It began with an S. Is that enough of a clue to get it read out to me?
It's Seraphina.
Seraphina.
Can I also get perception checks from Jaff and from Triple G?
I do that with
that's
advantage.
sad.
This is good. Oh fuck.
Gildor, you look up and you look around and you look up at the sky, and you see above that the stars have finally aligned into the constellation of the Loom, and you realise that the Convergence of Threads festival, the day of the Convergence of Threads, is now upon us. And Jaff, you're not really looking where you're going, and you accidentally bump in to an elf, and as you go to apologise, you realise that it's Ciara Minora. And she says, I'm glad you guys are okay. And she sort of looks around beyond you, around to where people are for a second, and says, did you find my daughter? Is she with you, or were you too late?
I'll say my sincere condolences. It appears that she died long ago.
Make a deception check for me.
Oh god.
Insight is a wisdom-based skill. She has a +5 to this roll, so she needs to roll a 16 or higher. And she rolled a natural 20.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. Oh fuck.
You can't look her in the eyes, as you say this, and she says, "What are you not telling me? Please, I need answers."
That's been rattled.
I'm just gonna lie again. I'm gonna say sorry, I didn't want to tell you this, but she was there. She joined our fight and was unfortunately slain by Vilgefortz.
I need you to make a charisma saving throw, DC 17.
Holy fuck, dude.
She is casting Zone of Truth.
Oh no!
Put that in the fucking chat, because I've never heard of that.
That's awesome.
Oh no!
That is
I will
awesome.
post it
This
in
is
the chat.
going so badly.
Jeez.
Oh,
Fuck his
no.
Zone of Truth.
Man has 8 deception and thought he was going to do well.
You cannot tell a lie whilst in the radius. You can effectively which is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answer as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth.
Think quickly.
She's going to ask you what happened.
Spill the beans, bro.
Yeah, go on then. Okay, I'll just tell her everything that happened. There's not really much else I can do. I mean, how evasive can I be with what happened? She's just going to ask more follow-up questions until she gets close enough. I'll just, there's nothing else I can do. I'm just going to tell her everything that happened.
And you see her face goes through a multitude of emotions.
And
She's
we're sorry, Jan, to interrupt, but we're now hearing this as well because it was like a whole. We were in darkness, and I think the truth was.
Yeah.
a little
You guys
bit-
are all around, and you're hearing what happened. That he
We're just
that he killed her.
we're like eavesdropping a little bit.
Yeah. It started to, as well as, like, once the spell was cast, there's so many mages here, they sense the magical shift around them, and it's not a crowd, but a few people are, like, sort of wondering what's going on, and some people are being nosy, some people aren't. And as you tell the story of what happened, you see on Ciara's face a whole multitude of emotions, anger, sadness, and she takes a moment and she goes to ask a follow-up question, and she realizes that because you're compelled to tell the truth, she might not want to know the answer, and she simply dispels the magic and says, "And I'm assuming you left her corpse in there to rot," and walks off towards the mountain, or towards the volcano.
Fuck me. Oh.
Did we do that?
Triple G unclenches his bumhole.
I think Jaff lets out a little bit of a wee.
As the dead are packed up onto sort of makeshift magical carts that have just got a very simple like telekinesis spell on the wheels to get them moving, Valandor sort of rallies the remaining troops. Valandor survived, Fallon survived, all of the different leaders of the tribes tribes have survived, but there are still heavy losses of sort of more regular folk. And Valandor sort of says, let's get away from here. We can reach F4 by nightfall, and we can give it a little burial, and perhaps try and enjoy the convergence of the threads, and sort of points to the sky. And you begin your journey towards F4.
I'm actually gonna sort of give Zarlok a nudge as well and go, right, we need a fucking intervention, us three. We need to address this. That we need to, when the time is right, pull in us three intervention. We can't afford to be on different pages.
I agree.
I feel like, Yeg, you're a good cop. I feel like that's your ballpark.
Yeah.
I think you fit that. I think Zarlok, obvious bad cop.
That is me.
Okay. I feel like Yeg here socially has the best social cues. I will leave that with you.
I have to decide when we do this.
You don't have to. I don't want to force anyone's hand, but I feel like I'm not well equipped enough to engage at the right time.
Tell
I do.
me what to say, and I will say it.
Okay. You're freaking me out, so
I've
was
never
gonna say,
seen
I
him
don't
so.
with you lot at the moment, but are we going to address Zarlok? At
I
any
think,
point?
Gildor, if I may, I think we need an intervention for Zarlok here, right?
right. Okay, I totally agree. I'm going to turn to Zarlok and say, right, what the fuck is your deal?
Ever speak to me like that again, you little peasant, and I'll
Okay.
rip your fucking head from your shoulders.
Oh, you
Right,
are
okay.
you are fascinating. You are fascinating. Why are you like this now? You were not like this before.
I don't know what you're talking about, little peasant.
Okay.
I am going to cast Detect Thoughts on Zarlok.
It's just going to be the monkey clapping.
What's the save? Is it intelligence or wisdom? I forget. Put the thing in the chat.
Whatever it is, he's fucked. So
He is fucked regardless. But you have to do it. Okay, so
They don't have to make a save unless you probe deeper. They
yeah,
get
so-
the
I'm probing all the way.
okay. Well, wisdom saving throw from you, Zarlok. But
There's no way you make this.
No,
shit.
but
Yeah.
maybe nat 20.
yeah. So, what is Zarlok thinking in this moment? You tell me.
I'll be honest, Zarlok's not thinking anything. Zarlok's just thinking that he, like the audacity for you to just like start claiming that he's changed is like starting to piss him off. Now he's gonna start wanting to fucking hurt you.
You look like you're going to hurt me. This is what I noticed.
Zarlok doesn't think that anything is out of the norm with the way he's acting right now. This is how he has always been in his head. This is how he always will be. He's always spoken like this. He's always had this sort of diction with the way he speaks, and he thinks that you are, for want of a better word, being a bit of a prick.
I am actually lost for words. I really don't know what to say.
It's okay. So from what I understand, this is just how it is. Yeah, can we all agree?
Something-
This is just how it is, guys.
Something has happened to
No,
Zarlok.
but nothing has happened. Is the thing.
What do you mean nothing has
No,
happened?
no,
We've
but
been
what-
here for the last like 15 seconds.
Yeah, don't normalise this, my brother, please. I'm willing to accept it, but there has to be logic. Can I? Is there some sort of role that I can make?
Just make a straight intelligence check. You cast your mind back to the battle, and the last time that in your mind Zarlok acted the way that Zarlok usually acts, and you remember a very short part of the battle where Zarlok was in melee with a skeleton, and the skeleton sort of clonked him over the head with the butt of his sword, with quite a powerful strike with the butt of the sword, and that was the last time you remember Zarlok being his normal self. You then remember him running up to the forts, and his final words were said in a similar diction to the way he's speaking now. You believe that the blow to his head has altered his brain in some way, whereby now he speaks in a, for want of a word, in a posher way, in a more posh accent.
Yeah, I don't know how to deal with that.
I'm going to compartmentalise that as small as I can possibly make that.
I think, are we still on the way back to F4?
Yeah, at this point, you've had your conversations and you guys have returned to F4, where there's sort of a dual nature to the vibes at the moment. There is joyousness from the fact that it's the Convergence of Threads, it's a festival sort of day, plus you have now eradicated an evil, defeated the previous evil master of mages and ushering in a new era for Zahith, but also there are dead that haven't survived the battle, and there is people mourning, there are people preparing sort of burial sites, ready for the bodies. Different tribes have different cultures of how they deal with the dead. The evocation mages prefer more of a cremation, and they're building funeral pyres. The illusory tribes sort of make the body look clean and whole before placing them in very ornate carved coffins and burying them in. Every tribe has its different culture. The divination wizards are much more natural. They believe what was once lived will go back to the earth, and what is once the earth will then go back to what becomes to living. Is very cyclical nature. So they are much more sort of buried naked within the sand to decompose in a completely natural sort of way. And as you guys reach F4, Fallon comes over to you and notices in the arms of Zarlok the corpse of Vilgefortz. And make insight checks, any of you that would wish to.
Yeah, fine. Damn.
There are mixed emotions on her face. There is obvious sadness of the fact that she is seeing her lover, her husband at one point, dead in the arms of a strong warrior, especially with the fact that his face is crushed and his skull is a bit fractured in places and there's sort of blood leaking from some of his orifices. There's also a slight smile of her seeing him for the first time in God knows how long, in over 100 years. And there's relief in her face as well of the enemy has been vanquished, the danger is gone, and she sort of steps close to Vilgefortz and just runs her hand down the side of his face, plants a kiss on his forehead, and says, "You all did well."
I am going to walk up to Fallon, and for the first time since all four of us entered the country, I'm going to pull her into a hug and whisper to her so that only she can hear, and say, "The man you loved was not in there anymore. I hope you made peace with that a long time ago, but know that it wasn't him." And then I'm going to pause for a moment and say, "Don't fade on me now. I need you for this next bit." And I'm going to let go of her and give her sort of a knowing look of like, well, I'm not even going to give her a knowing look. In fact, I'm going to look up to the sky.
She embraces you in a deep hug, and this is the first time that she's ever hugged her son. 100 years have passed since your birth, and from the moment you were brought into this world, you have been apart from the 2 years you spent as student and mentor, in which your relationship was not maternal in any way. And this hug means more to her than you'll ever know. The way she sinks into you, it's 100 years of lies, deceit, and stress fade away in a moment, and she becomes almost dead weight in your arms. Just to hold her up a little bit. As she steps away, she says, "I understand. The man I loved was gone. It is good to see that my son is wiser than him and wiser than me. I'll be here to help you with anything you need." And wait till you take the lead.
I am going to gather everyone here, every single person that is here. I'm going to sort of signal to gather around the fire, basically.
Including all of the elves, all of the people, all of the fighting force, or are you talking about the elites, the tribe leaders, etc., or are you talking about pretty much the entirety of the fighting force of Zahith?
I'm assuming that is a number that is physically probably too many to try and gather at one time, so I'm
well,
going to...
100 people came, and I would say in the 40s to 50s have survived. So about half the force have died.
I'm going to try and gather every single person here to listen to what I'm about to say.
Okay, the crowds gather. At this point, there has been a bit of a run of the rumour mill. Most people don't know your true past. Most people don't know that Vilgefortz was the Master of Mages. It was something that was kept within the confines of the elders and the elites of the tribes. So the rumour mill is vast. People have different thoughts of who you are. People think that you are a astral projection sent by Mistra herself to save them. Some people think you aren't even an elf. You are sort of some embodiment of the weave. Some people just think you are Some people have guessed correctly and think that you are Fallon's son, and the HUD kind of confirmed that. Everyone is sort of whispering as this person who they knew as the person that was meant to lead them and then disappeared has now returned and somehow reunited them without any explanation at this point. And they all gather around the fire, awaiting your word eagerly.
I am going to take Vilgefort's body off Zarlok and in front of everyone say, people of Zahith, the fight is done. We have defeated Mortis, and now marks the time for change in this country. This man signifies everything that was wrong with the structure of this country. Lies, deceit, fracture, isolation, not anymore. And I'm going to gently lay his body down so you can see he's got the tattoos on him, and I'm going to take my robe off so everybody can see we got the same tattoos. Everybody can see that this is, you know, at this point, if they can't make that connection, then, and I'm going to say, look at this man and look at me. There is no difference between us. There is no difference between us. The only difference is he lost the weave and I will not. I am doing this now in front of everybody here to show you that going forwards, we will be one entity. We will not be 9 different tribes. We'll be one country. There will be no lies. There will be no hidden information. There will be no isolation. It will be one banner. And I am going to turn to Thallon and beckon her over and say, I want you to see what is about to happen, because I am going to ask something of the tribes of Zahith. I am not staying in this country, and I point to my friends and say, I might be the master of mages, but that is not important, as not important to me as their friendship is and what is at stake right now. I will be leaving, frankly, whether you like it or not, and I'm going to propose that each of you, the leader of each tribe, create a coalition, a government, and my mother, and I gesture to Thallon, will be my emissary. She will speak for me while I am gone. If any of you need to contact me, there are ways, but my blood kin will be my emissary. And as a sign of good faith in what I've just asked, you're going to witness what is about to happen. And I'm going to mage hand pull the stone out, and I'm going to say to Thallon, I'm going to put this stone in the fire with his body, and I'm going to try and talk to him. I'm not just going to cast a traditional speak with dead, because I could just long rest and do that. I want to fully, for whatever way I think I can, I want to, for a brief portion of time, bring his soul back, so I don't just have to ask him 5 questions. I can fully converse with him as if he was still alive. I don't expect to revive him. I just want to talk to him without constraint, and I'm willing to wear the repercussions of what is about to happen.
There is a murmuring, a smattering of murmurs around, which is almost instantly hushed by a glare from Thallon. She nods and says, I trust you implicitly, my son. And as you prepare everything for the ritual,
I'll approach good old Gil and I'll tap him on the shoulder and say, you're doing fucking great, mate. Keep going. Bardic inspiration.
Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you.
Okay. So, I will say, as you prepare this ritual, you will make an Arcana check with advantage. Use as. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Really quickly, I don't suppose I've had time to have a short rest on the way back, have I?
I'll say that you sat in the one of the moving carts
while we were
until the
talking
rest.
about him.
Yeah, while everyone's
just
talking about you kind of ran away from Ciara. You took a short rest on the car.
As he goes to do this, I don't know if this is going to do anything, but I'm going to cast Magic Circle on the fire, and I'm going to try and keep in. I don't know if this... Well, above table, could you tell me if this is completely not like plausible with how the spell's written? But essentially, I'd be trying to keep in any kind of like undead.
It will have an effect. It will have an effect. It's not a waste of a spell. That's what you're asking. Perfect. So, as the preparations for the ritual come to a close, I will explain what will happen. On a DC 25, the spell goes off as normal. You have ample time to communicate with Vilgefortz. There will be, however, a permanent effect for you, Gildor, regardless of whether it's a success or a failure on a 25. On a 20, you will have to make a intelligence saving throw after every question, which with DC will increase as the connection is lengthened. And again, the same permanent effect will be bestowed upon you. On a DC 15, it will need to be an intelligence saving throw with disadvantage to maintain concentration. And on a DC 10, it will fail. You will have that permanent effect, and it will be a secondary permanent effect. So, roll high and roll well.
Godspeed.
And I am rolling a Arcana check right now.
Correct, and you also roll. I believe your inspiration is a D8 now, Yeg. If you just want to double check for me.
Yeah, it becomes a D8 at first level. Yep. So you get a D8.
So Arcana with advantage because Stala's giving you the help action on this, plus a D8. So you need to roll a 7 on this D8 for it to go off normally without needing to make intelligence saving throws after every question.
You're just having the whispers of, "You're doing great, buddy. Keep going. You're doing great."
So you've hit DC 20, which is fine. It just means you have to make intelligence saving throws after every question to maintain concentration. The DC will start after every question at a 10 and increase by 2 after every question.
Before I fully do this, I turn to... In fact, no, just continue, because I'm assuming that basically what I want to happen above table is I don't want to not be able to turn to everyone and say, I don't want to be the only one asking questions. I want everyone to be able to ask questions.
But you'll tank intelligence saving throws if, say, Jaff wants to ask a question.
You are the final authority on what questions are asked, but you can communicate with your party and people around to work out what questions you want to ask. You could discuss that with people.
Cross the barrier of no return, not knowing what questions people wanted, basically.
Yeah. So, as you and Fallon, using a combination of mage hand and telekinetic magic, levitate the body of Vilgefortz through the barrier of the magic circle onto the fire, and then take the same gem of weirdness, that we'll call it for now, and place that directly in the center of the fire. The flames begin to embroil around the body of your father. They start to darken from a red into a deep purple into a black flame. Your father's body engulfs in flame, unable to be seen in the black fire. And the smoke and flames of the fire begin to contort and shift and change. And encased in this magic circle is a shadowy visage of your father's face. And it simply says, "My son, ask your questions." I'll say before we carry on, make an insight check. Looking at the features, it's very hard to make out because it is made of smoke and flame rather than it being like a 3D rendering of your father's face. You notice it is devoid of emotion, And you also notice every so often, like a periodic twitch and a spasm, as if something, some entity, some force is also present at this moment. It doesn't seem to be the prominent force at the moment, but every so often you just see a twitch and a tremor in the smoke, and it's almost like a shimmer, a shudder. The image, the face becomes almost broken apart and then comes back together. It's not a perfect connection.
I am fighting between asking a question for Thalan's sake or the sake of basically the future of Azureth. I'm going to meet in the middle and ask, what happened to you when you left the village?
The shadows contort and the mouth begins to open, and you hear a deep, gravelly voice, similar to your father's, but there is a vibrato of energy that comes off that sort of distorts the voice slightly. And you hear him say, Thalan felt a dark presence in the Underdark. I went to investigate. I thought I could control it. In the end, it controlled me. I now do its I did its bidding for the rest of my life. Now, I believe I'm free, but my journey to the afterlife is affected. Make an intelligence saving throw. I say you can give Raymond or Thalan can give you advantage on this.
Little Raymond, give me a fucking boost up.
Cool. So that one was DC 10. The next one will be a DC 12.
Who is involved in this plot alongside you?
Once again, the maw of the shadow begins to open, and you hear the orchestrators behind this plot are the Cult of Darkness. They are a group hell-bent on power and control. The leaders are three. The Dwergar commander, Ragrim Skullfist. The current steward of Azureth, Antoine Platisse. And a dark shadow sorcerer, a dragonborn who goes by the name of Maleficum Blackfang.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Could I also ask
a
for
dragonborn sorcerer?
who goes by the name Shadow Sorcerer, who goes by the name of Maleficum Blackfang.
Oh shit, a brick.
Can I also get history checks from all of you, or and also actually, history checks from all of you.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me you know her.
I don't know. No.
Jaff and Gildor, the name Ragrim Skullfist rings a bell. You remember, Jaff actually remembers more than anyone, because when speaking all that time ago with Auric about how the mountain dwarves were kicked out of Skarnus by an invading Dwergar force, Auric's father killed, and they had to retreat to Stone Hollow Fortress in Azureth. The leader of this force was the Dwergar named Ragrim Skullfist. You remember that Auric said how the Dwergar had resided in the Underdark for long. However, for some reason, they decided to come up to the surface and take the area of Skarnus for themselves, driving the hill and the mountain dwarves out. Can I get another intelligence saving throw with advantage, Gildor? This is now DC 12. You maintain concentration. Continue.
I'm thinking so carefully of what I'm trying to say. Does anyone have any serious, genuine burning questions?
What is in the Underdark?
I was going to say, what is it they're trying to achieve?
Yeah.
Well, it's a ritual to bring something back. Yeah, we could figure out what exactly that is.
But the thing is that before I asked that question, he didn't know anyway, clearly from the note we read, that he hasn't actually got that knowledge. If anything, he said the guy is hiding where the body is. He won't tell him.
Yeah. Well, he might know what it is, but they won't tell him where the body is. He'll definitely know what's in the Underdark.
It doesn't feel like a we're gonna get a straight answer. It feels like we're just gonna get kind of a nothing burger answer that you could have guessed.
Potentially.
Because as you say, I don't think he knows. He doesn't know enough.
He knows what's in the Underdark, definitely.
Yeah, like what's ahead. He just
Above table, what we went just a minute ago wasn't in the Underdark, was it?
No.
The Underdark is, imagine it's underneath the entire world. It's miles and miles beneath the surface. There is a whole world underneath your world in the sense of different, like, tribes, kingdoms, cities of YEGOR, of Drow, of Mind Flayers, Deep Gnomes, all host of subterranean creatures. There are areas that are uninhabited by humanoids and civilization and are more run by beasts. There are some areas that are civilized and societies built there, but it's a whole set of continents underneath the ground.
I am going to ask, before the DC gets too high, honestly, I feel happy with the information we've learned. I'm going to say, if you had one chance to speak to Thalen, what would you say?
I would say, firstly, how sorry I am. She warned me not to go to the Underdark. She warned that it would be dangerous, and I ignored her. The person I became was a result of me not listening to the wisdom of my wife, my rock, the one who made me into the man I am today. The way I dismissed your concerns was wrong, and despite having no control over my thoughts, my choices after that, Vilgefortz, was the one that disobeyed her opinions, and I paid the price for it. I also would want to know what she wanted to tell me by the spot by the river when I went to confront her. The strength of myself inside of me wanted to ask, but the corruption within me sought to only enact violence, and the battle we had, the battle that robbed her of her sight, again, I can only apologise. I'm sorry. I would have loved nothing more than to grow old with you, to live a life, to have a child with you. I'm sorry I couldn't have done so.
Oh, he doesn't know. But you said my son.
Something said my son.
Oh, fuck a duck, dude.
Fuck off.
Gee whiz, if it looks like a duck, don't.
Save, carry on.
Oh my word, oh my word.
Boys, we're in way too deep right now.
You said you're happy with the information. I have no pressing questions because I just think, I'm shook by this shadow sorcerer name popping up. So I've got nothing on my mind to ask this shadow soul person. Your dad, sorry.
I'm gonna ask, where should we go next if we want to succeed on our journey?
He's not going. We've got a million different. He's not going to know what's best for us, is he?
I don't fucking know.
Ask him what's in the Underdark.
Okay, what's in the Underdark?
Where do we go next? I don't know. I'm fucking dead. They've got a million different places you can go. We have to talk about that. Not fucking
It's gonna get confused. It's gonna get confused.
Let's just zone of truth on the fucking fire again real quick. Yeah, that one to pop out the fucking fire. Don't worry about that.
Can I confirm what is the question you're asking? What's in the Underdark?
The question is, what is in the fucking Underdark?
The shadowy face says, When I journeyed down to the Underdark, I followed a powerful source of magic, ancient before the gods. As I approached, I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but it latched onto me
Oh no.
and began to control me. The more time I spent, I managed to understand glimpses of what it might be. And when the Cult of Darkness reached out to me, they confirmed my suspicions. I encountered an aspect, a shade of the primordial dragon at Umbrasyl. I thought it was a myth, but I was proved wrong.
So the dragon itself is primordial. Oh my days.
At the mention of the word Umbrasyl, you notice that the shudders and shimmers and sort of spasms that was going through the ghostly face start to increase. The intelligence saves are now made without advantage. First one was 10, 12, 12,
16,
14, 16. This one is just a straight roll now.
Fuck this.
Jesus Christ.
So at the mention of Umbrasyl, the face began to spasm and contort, and what once was a black, shadowy, like visage of your father's face begins to change and shift. The magic circle that was protecting is shattered, and just for a second, the shadow contorts into this monstrous winged dragon, and then dies. The fire dies back down to a red. The people around are terrified of what they've just seen. Fallon is shocked, and as the black smoke of the dragon dissipates, one small wisp of smoke darts its way over to you, Gildor, slams into your chest. You have now been touched by an evil primordial being,
Oh, fuck.
and for the remainder of your life, you will ever be cursed. So now above table, what that means is you have a permanent disadvantage on all death saving throws.
Oh my goodness. That's
Okay.
unreal. Holy fuck. What a crazy,
the
note.
I am going to collapse into Fallon's arms, and before I fully give up, I think in some sort of fucking like hysteria, like delirium, I'm going to say, people of Zahith, look at the sacrifices we're making. Look at the
Jesus, bit of a beg. Jesus.
look at the lengths that we're going to.
Witness me.
Remember my words, and I'm going to pass out.
That,
So we all just watched that happen.
yeah, that was
You
heavy.
watch that. Everyone saw that.
That was heavy. Right, so it's like, what's the party situation outside of people gathering here?
At this point, people are a little bit shocked.
Yeah.
The person they were looking to as their kind of interim Master of Mages has firstly disbanded the idea of a Master of Mages and has then immediately collapsed after speaking to a black primordial ancient being / his father.
Yeah.
And Fallon is kind of looking after him. So there's a bit of an uneasiness.
So the vibes are average.
The vibes are a little
at
bit
best.
low, and Valandor sort of steps forward, clears his throat, and says, "It's been a long evening. It's been a struggle for all of us. We have to mourn those we lost, but also celebrate their sacrifice. People, we should drink to their memory. We should try and enjoy the rest of our evening, and whatever the future may bring, we would do it together." And people sort of start to disperse off a little bit, and
Can I put together a one-man band type situation?
you can indeed.
A little drum set, and then obviously my loot on my back as well. You know, that's always on me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins, to get the mood back up.
I'm gonna attempt to grab some alcohol, Jan, and at this gathering of people, I'm gonna look for Sontar and Yaris.
The guy that was in charge of the Praetor tribe, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, you find that easily enough. You find a lot of the elven wine. You got to remember, high elves are quite usually very regal, like sophisticated, uptight beings. The high elves of Zahith are not like that. They are nomadic, they are cult-like, they are tribal, they're a little bit himbo. And the elven wine is a bit shit. It's sort of, made in a pot underneath the ground. There's it's hard to cultivate grapes in the desert, but you find like a slightly nicer vintage. You pick it up and you head off and you find Sultan Yaros.
So I'm gonna plonk myself down next to them and kind of gesture the glass of wine into their hand.
Thank you. I think a drink is needed. I see that you are one of Gildor's companions.
Yes, yeah. I am. I must say that the Presider tribe, from what I saw, fought well. And
you saw the fight above ground for approximately 8 seconds, but the fake sincerity goes a long way, and he chuckles and drinks some of his wine.
And I'll say I'm sure Gil appreciates massively the sacrifice that your tribe made.
It wasn't just us, it was everyone. For the first time in over 100 years, we were united, and we didn't do too bad. And he cheers you and says, to the fallen, and he raises a glass up to them and necks back his wine.
Fallen. And then I'm going to kind of sigh a little bit, and I'll say, unfortunately, we must ask slightly more of you. There will be a time in the near future when we must traverse to the Shadowfell and the Hells, and it is to my understanding that this would be something that your tribe is familiar with. Now, you were around the campfire, you saw what it is we're essentially fighting against. It is up to you, but I hope that we would have your support in this.
He nods and says, Gildor is a good man, and perhaps an even better leader. If he requires the help of us, we shall oblige however we can. Could I ask why you need to go to the Shadowfell and to the Hells? They're not particularly scenic places, so I doubt it's for a holiday. But any insight into your reasoning may help us prepare better.
I'll chuckle a little and say, yeah, we're not looking for particularly scenic things, to be honest with you. We wish to traverse to the temple, or the castle, sorry. The castle of the Raven Queen herself in the Shadowfell.
The Fortress of Memories. Yes, I have studied.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
May I ask, how versed are you in the magic of planar travel and shifting throughout the planes? He seems excited that he gets to teach someone a lesson, and you've now realised that you're kind of sitting through a lecture, and before you can really stop, he takes out like a stick and starts drawing some stuff in the sand. And he draws out basically a circular map, which is kind of the cosmology of the planes.
Yeah.
In front of you all. And he says, so, listen and listen well. We reside here in the material plane, which is the entirety of the world and the universe of Chthon and the different continents of Egros, Nithrelis, and Lorandor. The ethereal plane connects us all with the Feywild and the Shadowfell, and around them are the elemental planes. You then have the outer planes, which are usually controlled by different deities. The 12 prime deities control 12 of these. The Abyss controlled by the demons, the 9 Hells by the devils, and then you also have, one second, plane, there's my plane sheet.
Is he saying where's my playing sheet?
Yeah, he's just reminding himself of everything.
This map is fucking crazy. What the fuck?
Is this blowing Yeg's mind? Yes, it is.
Did you even know about other planes?
Yeah, it would have come up. There's a unit on it in the College of Law.
There's the curriculum.
Acheron is godless. It is a endless war of armies of the dead that chose to forego an afterlife in exchange for more battle. And you also have, I believe it's Gehenna, let me double check. And Gehenna, which is ruled by Valith, the Ember Queen, an exiled archfey who hoards relics and other gizmos there. Now, traveling between planes is not easy, and it is not something that someone can just learn. To transport through the planes, you must first be able to cast plane shift, but that is not the only criteria. You are also it also requires a focus, a tuning fork of sorts. You must have either been to the plane before, or have a powerful object that is associated with the plane as a way of navigating the space between the planes. When using the former, you can control where you end up as long as you've been there before. However, using some sort of tuning fork, you don't really have any control of where you end up. Attempting to plane shift without either of these could result in catastrophe. You could end up in the elemental chaos. You could end up anywhere you have been. You could end up in any demi-plane, pocket planes. It's very risky business. So for you guys to go to the Shadowfell, let me think. And he starts listing off some names. He's like, Kale, no, he's not been to the Shadowfell before. Venara passed away during the battle. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is there is someone that has been to the Shadowfell before that I believe survived the battle at Mortuus. The bad news is he's a little bit odd. His time in the Shadowfell was accidental and prolonged, and it seems to have addled his mind a teeny weeny bit. It's the only option, unfortunately, but he's the only one to be to the Shadowfell. With the Hells, we would need more information. There are 9 layers to the Hell. There are different areas that you may want to go to, and there is only a few of us that have been to certain layers and to not all of them. So until you know more specifically where you need to go, I can't particularly help you just at the moment.
I'm not going to know what layer that is specifically, actually, am I?
In terms of where you need to go?
Yeah, I'm not going to know that. Well, Jaff isn't going to know that, is he?
I'd say make a raw intelligence check from what you learned from your last time you thingy.
I think there's no way he's going to know.
Oh yeah, you know it wouldn't be. He's not. You're not proficient in that sort of stuff, so I doubt it.
I'll say thank you. I'll just basically say thank you very much for your help. I'm sure we will get word to you when we require your services.
He nods and says, "Thank you, but please, enough business. Enjoy the celebration. I feel like you guys have earned a drink."
Oh, cheers! Like to the fallen as I kind of walk off. And I also do want to look for Fallon, but I don't know if she's still tending to Triple G.
She is. She's kind of cast a few little incantations and managed to bring Triple G back to consciousness, and is just sort of doting over him at this point. Like being very motherly at this point, kind of embarrassing. You know, you feel like you've missed this motherly love, but the moment it's happened, you're like, oh my god, get off me, mum! Like I'm trying to be cool here. And she's dabbing your forehead and stuff.
I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna stand at a distance from her, and I'm gonna cast Mage Hand, and kind of have it sneak up behind her and try and kind of subtly tap her on the shoulder and point her in my direction where I'm standing off in the distance.
She notices it and she says to you, Gildor, are you going to be okay without me? Or would you like, do you need anything, food, drink, like anything, please? And just say the word.
I have Raymond in my hands, and I'm like, no, I'll be fine. Raymond's going to keep me company.
She gives you a kiss on the forehead and says, don't go far and don't leave without saying goodbye. And she heads off to go speak to you, Jaff.
As she kind of moves away, I'm just basically going to start walking until we're clear of the camp by a little bit. So there's no one else like around.
You guys head off and you find a quiet space. And she says, so how can I help?
Fallon, I understand that today and the events of the past week have probably already been very taxing on you.
They've been difficult, yes.
But I guess I come to ask you for some clarity.
I will bestow any that I can possibly give you.
You once told me that I would have decisions to make, and there would be a fork in my road. What did you see for me?
She takes a moment and closes her eyes and tries to focus on the tendrils of the weave that connect your soul to destiny. And she says, there are many forks in the roads that we walk. Some, once taken, can be turned back on. Others, once we take, we are on that road for life. I fear you have already made decisions that have set things in motion. However, I don't believe your fate is set. The hard thing about gazing into the future is that the future is always changing. Decisions affect our outlook and our place in this world. I think the more important thing to ask yourself is not what did I mean, but rather what drives you and what do you want? If you stay true to those values and stay true to the things that you want in life, I see no reason why you can't achieve them. And it is up to you whether those things are selfish or selfless, positive or negative, are in the control of you or others. And she puts a hand on your shoulder and says, I feel a great darkness around you and inside you. But only in darkness do we truly appreciate the light.
I'll kind of take a minute and then walk kind of lightly away from her. And I'll say, thank you for your advice. And I'll take out of my sleeve the note that I kind of pocketed earlier. And I'll say, see, I've made a lot of selfish decisions. But I fear you may have as well. And I'll kind of hold up this note. Gil has had a lot on his plate and given him a lot on his plate over the last few days, across his life in general. This is not something that would make that worse.
At this point, you hand her the note.
Yeah.
She takes it, she reads it, and there's a soft smile on her face, and she says, maybe there was a piece of him within the corrupted version that he became. After all, if there wasn't, he wouldn't have held on to this. And she smiles and a few tears drop onto the parchment. And she looks up at you and says, I've made mistakes. I've thrust a lot of pressure onto Gildor. And I feel like it might not be the last time I have to thrust upon him. After all, he will most likely succeed me as the, I don't even know what to call us anymore, as the representative of our tribe in this new coalition. And sometimes people go out looking for their fate. Other times, fate comes looking for them. All we can do is try our best, be the best we can, act with a decisiveness and an intent that at the end of our life, whether it be short like a human's or long like an elf, we look back and we think we've done a good job. I've made my mistakes, but I hope that with whatever is left of my life, I can spend that time rectifying them and hopefully have some sort of relationship with my son as and when he finishes his duties that he has this time thrust upon himself. No one's asked him to go and save the world from whatever primordial nightmare we could be finding ourselves in. This wasn't a thing that was thrust upon him. This was something he chose to do. And maybe that is something I have to trust him to do for the best of not just our people, but all people.
I'll do what I can to support him in that. And for now, that note is yours to do with what you wish. And I will head back towards the camp and we'll probably head straight to wherever we're staying.
As you walk off, just before you sort of walk past her, she reads the note one last time and then just has a quick produce flame cantrip in her hand and burns it, the ashes scattering in the wind, and says, that chapter is closed. I look forward to writing new ones with my son. There's no point dwelling on the past. Divination is about the future. The past is nothing but shackles. And she lets you walk off. And you return to everyone. At this point, you know, YEGOR's getting a nice little vibe going. The party are all together except for Snow. Snow has sort of... He's been drinking and eating, and he's a bit of a marvel amongst the elven people. You know, they don't see many foreigners, especially something as exotic as a tabaxi from a different continent. And he's attracted the attention of a rather like burly, strong, quite mask-looking female elf with like quite large muscles. She's like tall, she's got a big nose, really like overtly big and pointy ears. And she sort of cuddled up to him alongside the fire, like sort of stroking his fur and matting it and like doing little knots within the fur. And the rest of you are sort of sitting by Yeg as he's playing music to the crowd.
We are the champions.
I'll tap Triple G on the shoulder and just say to him, wait, let me try something. And I'm going to take the hilt of my glaive and I'm going to bash Zarlok on the top of the head with it.
Roll to hit.
Do I get advantage? Because I'm gonna do this like behind him, kind of sneak.
Make a stealth check.
Attempt to sneak.
Make a stealth check. He hears you coming. You can still roll to hit, but it's not with advantage.
I'm gonna roll to bash it just with the hilt. Just bash
with
it.
the hilt, that's fine.
With it.
Yeah.
Nice.
25 hits. Roll damage.
I'm not. I'm not
Okay,
trying to do.
it does 1 point of damage of you bashing him on the head. Yeah, you hit Zarlok on the back of the head. It doesn't seem to affect him in any way.
Jesus.
He just is a bit pissed off.
Zarlok,
I'm gonna turn up, stand up, turn around, and boot boot him as hard as I can in the chest.
Roll your unarmed attack. I think it's just strength plus proficiency. 24 will hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Yeah. You turn around and you spring up, and it's not even you don't even turn around. You spin on your standing foot, back kick straight into his chest, and he just falls flat on his ass. And you stand over him, and you can say whatever you want to say to him.
I'm gonna be laughing. Laughing through clear
Wheezing.
pain, and I've just been booted in my chest, and I'm gonna be like, Zarlok, hello, is that you?
Fucking weakling. And I'm gonna turn back around and sit back down.
I can tell if that's which Zarlok that was.
But it is just dead silent. Everyone's waiting for a response.
I am gonna stand in the way and sort of give Yeg the eyes and go, right, now seems a better time than ever. I am calling a group
intervention.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Music's over. Please disperse to your groups. Show's over, folks. Mate, honestly, I'm ready for bed. If we're honest,
You see a really drunken elf. He's spectrally summoned some musical instruments and is doing really bad karaoke, singing wonderful. He's singing Wonderwall, so off key. He's playing all the wrong chords, but he's doing his best to try and keep the party going.
You go, man. You go. I'll be honest with you. I forgot who we're giving the intervention to at this point.
We're giving the intervention to Jaff.
Oh, it's the Jaff. Yeah, I can't remember if it was Zarlok or Jaff. I was remembering which one we've already done.
He's now a posh butler. I've given that. That's fine.
Okay.
I've accepted that for what it is.
But Jaff is
slightly
some
more...
kind of weird killer. He's serial killer.
Yeah. He's a zombie now. What the fuck?
Right. Jaff!
Remember, you're good cop.
Yeah,
Remember.
I should be nicer than that. I need you to just be present with us. Can you do that?
That's absolutely fine.
Right, everyone.
This seems very serious.
This is optional, but I'd like everyone to hold hands.
Jim immediately puts his hands out.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and put it in the middle.
That's fine. If you're not ready, that's okay. I'm happy to adapt.
What's going on here? Why are
we're worried about you.
Hands?
We're all worried about you. Even Zarlok, I think. I won't bring him into the conversation. I will say we're worried about your violence. We're worried about your violence and your tendency. Yeah. And because of your the previous people from way back when. Met them. Oh god, it was so long ago. I forgot their names, but it was two people.
Ashcott and Hobbin.
Exactly.
In the forest.
Yeah. That was uncool. And I remember that, and so I think there's a pattern forming. And going forwards, we need to make sure that no one's going to be doing anything too off script, if you get what I mean.
I'm willing to have this discussion with you, and I'll kind of sit down and I'll cross my feet and I'll say, but can I show you something first?
Sure, I'm open.
So you see Jaff kind of rummaging around in his bag, and I pull out my box of cigarettes.
It's just a box of cigarettes, Jaff.
Firstly, I'll take out a fairly newer looking one with some fairly new kind of ink blotted on it, and I'll light that up, and I'll start smoking that, and then I'll dig into the pack and I will pull out a older looking cigarette. It's discolored slightly. It looks older than the pack that it's in, as well as older than the rest of the cigarettes in that pack. And it has very faint, blown out ink kind of written on the side of the cigarette, and I'll hand that to you, Yeg.
Mm.
And initially, you kind of can't make out what this says, because the ink's kind of blown out and old. But I'm gonna cast. Does this work, Yan? Can I cast
Yeah,
Prestidigitation.
you can cast that on it. Yeah, clean up a little bit, make it more visible.
So you kind of see some kind of black, inky, almost looking tendrils kind of filter out of the ends of my fingers as I'm passing it over, and the ink kind of fills in a little bit. And you see written across the side of this cigarette the words, "For when the war ends." And I'll hand that over to you, and I'll say, I have this habit I picked up from my father. Before any kind of significant battle, event, anything like that, I would save a cigarette from before I went, as almost a promise to myself that I would survive whatever was coming, and kind of an ode to him that I would always have people there with me. Over time, I started kind of messages on them myself. This was the cigarette I'd saved before the war I went to in Denthir, the Civil War of Denthir. As I think,
Yeah, that rings a bell in your head.
Yeah,
That was
yeah. I was clocking it. I was enthralled as a listener.
as I'm sure you guys have probably deduced by now, I used to be part of a band of mercenaries. We were hired by the royalty in Denthir at the time as a small militant force that would go behind enemy lines and use guerrilla war tactics to disrupt and distract. And that was our job. That was our expertise and what we'd kind of built a name for ourselves as, and how we'd kind of gained some renown at the time. The Venari was this band, and I built it from the ground up. The people that were with me, I'd picked up from rock bottom. I kind of created this band of misfits in ode to myself when it was first started. And just as I'd seen them at rock bottom, they'd also, many of them, seen me at rock bottom. And this was how I saw our chance to carve a place in the world for ourselves, to be the ones deciding things, be the ones who had some form of power, to be in charge of our own fucking destiny. And surviving that war as heroes would have really put our name out there with sway, political influence, and it was a turning point towards us becoming like a genuine power in the realm. And just before the final days of fighting, before any of that could happen, before we could have all crawled our way out of the mud, I woke up alone. There wasn't a word from anyone else. There wasn't so much as a goodbye. There wasn't anything. There was just silence.
I do feel, though, that murder is a little strong of a response.
You don't understand. You weren't there in Denthir. You don't see how they looked at me before that, and how they just did nothing afterwards. They left me there in the mud for fucking dead and then show up years later saying that they regret it and that they can help.
Yeah. However, I would give the same answer, because killing someone, mate, as a response is pretty nuts. Like, if they said that they regret it, you know, that stings, right? But, you know, maybe they did feel sorry. Let's just say they were. You don't have to accept that apology, you know, because that's your decision. You don't, you know, you're not forced into that.
Jaff, stop this foolishness. I admit I'm fond of setting things right in a rather aggressive fashion. But I have my limits. They are stood next to me right now. I enjoy killing things as much as you. Clearly, you've just banged me over the head. But fuck! You need to listen to us. Please. Otherwise, I will get physical.
Thank you very much, Zarlok. I am listening, and I do appreciate all of your input. I'm doing my best to listen.
Triple G passes. Triple G passes out.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking hell.
Oh, that is good.
Oh, we're with Boris Johnson in the party now. I think that what they're both trying to say is that there is a happy middle ground. I mean, we don't want to kill for the sake of killing, but, you know,
They weren't
I don't
an
want to
active
pretend like we
threat.
don't do. I don't want to pretend like we don't do bad
define-
shit either.
Which of you get to define
No,
what's killing for the sake of killing?
I know you're right. You're right. It's a blurry line.
It's a tough
blurry
moral
line.
question.
Just how about this?
Because I
Instead
would
of-
say no killing is the right thing to do.
It's a big ass to say we're.
I was going to say, no one seems
we're going to kill again.
No one seems to have a problem when Zarlok crushes some random person's
Yeah,
skull.
I
No
do
one-
remember being sick.
He was my
after
dad.
that.
No one seems to have a problem with that. And look, you make this out as if I'm killing for the sake of killing.
Well,
I'm desperate for.
You kind of just
murder.
spring out of nowhere, it's some
You
kind
think I didn't
political
want to
assassination.
believe- You think I didn't want to believe what she was saying? That I didn't want to think that she would have helped us, that it would have been fine, that like all of that just could have been swept under the rug. But
I think that what Jaff is trying to say and what we're trying to say combined is going forward, we all have to be on the same page with what's going on. We all knew that Vilgefortz may have to die, but we were surprised by what happened with her. I'm not even saying that you made the wrong decision. I've heard what you said. I can't say I would disagree with what you did. Just it coming out of the blue like that, while we're not all on the same page, has to stop going forwards. I think it's the happiest middle ground we can meet for now. Are there more people that you're going to do this to, or you plan to?
well, okay, in the spirit of openness, I guess I've got some other things to tell you then.
Yeah, the zombie stuff needs addressing.
Well, yeah, when I was in those fields by myself, no person answered my calls and my cries, but it seemed like something else did. And it had been coming to me at certain points in time in my dreams, whispering to me. And when we were in Dawnhaven and we went under the Temple of Ao, I found out what that was. And that is a force of which I've made a deal with. in
What
order
kind
to...
of deal?
I'll kind of look at Triple G for a second, and then you see my skin start to peel back a bit and my bones extrude. You see my hair grow dark and long, and I take on my form of dread that you've now seen a couple of times. And I'll say, this is the deal which I've made. And I'll take the glass of wine that I had in my hand, and then you'll see red wine that I've drunk kind of seeping into the cloth at the right-hand side of my chest. And I'll open up my armor and the cloth underneath, and you'll see that the skin has basically peeled back there to just be bone. And within it, you see no lungs breathing, no heart beating, essentially a skeletal form underneath. And I'll kind of quietly put that back up, like reclasp my armor back across me. I'll say, this was my gift. Well, not so much of a gift. This was what I got in return for the vengeance that I wished to give out.
You get this power, and whoever this person is, you've yet to say, gets you, your soul, all four of us.
If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't know too much of the intricacies of what this being is. I know that
Hey, that's concerning.
they are a being that's been around for a very long time and was around during the War of the Gods and was the champion of Hor, the god of vengeance, and the power that now is channeled through me is his power. And in return, I've given up this, I've given up more, seemingly. I'll then take out my glaive and I'll kind of tilt it so you can see. This is like the first time that I'm verbalizing any of this, so my voice is shaking a little, and I'm clearly not entirely comfortable with doing this, but I'm kind of, you can see I'm doing it for the sake, and I'll point down the list of names on the side of my glaive, and I'll say, these are the people who have thrown my life into chaos. And these are the people that I need to kill.
Of the names that you read, you don't recognize any apart from one, which you heard for the first time not too long ago, when the spectral visage of your father was speaking. One of the leaders of the Cult of Darkness, Antoine Platisse, the current steward of Northspire,
Is on this glaive.
is on that glaive. That's the only name you recognise. The other ones you don't recognise.
Do you know this fucking guy?
I did. He was a part of my childhood, and he murdered my family.
Oof.
Right. Okay.
Okay. That's heavy.
I'm going to say this before we go any further in terms of strategizing and names and all of that stuff. I have just watched you fight a fight that has nothing to do with you. None of these people are your people. You have just put your body on the line, and followed me into battle just because I asked you to. So I am not going to turn my back on you for whatever decisions you have made in the past. I just ask that we do whatever we do going forward in the same way that we have always done things, and that is together.
I kind of nod my head, and I'm kind of making a face that looks like I should be crying, but there are no tears coming from my eyes.
Can I get a group hug, please, for morale? Everyone, Zarlok, everyone in, 4-man group hug.
I'll say thank you. I'll do my best to be more
Still
more
need a
open
name.
with this.
Still need a name. Zarlok, that's for you, buddy. You and Yeg, put your heads together. You two are the creative ones.
Zarlok grabs Yeg's head and headbutts him.
What have you at this present time done with Ganthal's body?
Oh, fuck him. He's
do you
in the fire.
know?
We need to bury.
Yeah,
we do
listen.
the fire.
Let's just say.
just with Yeg, if you two don't care, but I want to give Gamfell.
No, I think we should definitely all go. You know.
I don't think they care, so I don't think it really matters if they come or not. But I
Well,
think me and you,
yeah,
at the very
okay,
least,
I
should give
will
him a
agree
proper
with that.
burial.
Let's just say for now, I respectfully put him somewhere. Do you have anything you want to say to, not to him, obviously, but because I don't have anything specific, Jaff. I'll be honest. I'm not much of a speech giver. If you want to give a eulogy.
Well, what are we burying him now?
Well, we should probably find somewhere quick before he starts fucking decomping. He's already gone into rigor, mate. It's not. It's not great.
I'll go try find a shovel, and I'll go try and start digging a grave.
Yeah.
The only things on his body are his spell book, and
that's cool.
I suppose the only thing that you guys would care about, he also has 557 gold on him.
Yeah.
That you might want to take.
He would want us to take it.
I'll dig a hole for him. I'll place his body in there. I'll recover the hole, and I'm going to attempt to find a rock to mark the site, preferably somewhere nice.
You find
by a river or something.
Not too far from the main area of F4 is a small pool, like a rocky pool of water, fairly large, with some greenery around it. There's not much greenery in this desert, but it's sort of up towards some rocky hills, and sort of in the side of the hill is like a little rocky pool area with a couple of trees and some willow trees with long droopy branches and leaves heading off. And there's an area there that is rather pretty. You can take one of the rocks from around there, like a smooth sort of circular stone around there, and use that.
I'm going to put the rock to mark where his grave is. I'm going to lean his spell book up against the rock. And then I will take up my glaive and I'll carve the words into the rock: to be reborn as Gandfal the White.
You do so, and I'm sure you both say some nice words, and you see as well, if there's ever a day to bury a powerful mage, the most magical day of the year, the Converging of Threads is probably the best way to do so. And you just get the feeling that Mistral will be guiding him along into the afterlife on a day like today.
Shit, man, that's tearful. That is, yeah, that's hit Yeg a little bit. He couldn't.
One of the stars of the constellation, the Loom, just seemed to twinkle a little brighter.
Oh, I love a sign from the universe. But
I'll give Yeg a little pat on the shoulder. I'm going to let Enfer out of his little thing, and we can all walk back towards the village, probably to sleep at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you head back. The party vibe has started to wind down. They got bored of hearing Wonderwall for the 8th time. And people are starting to sort of head off. You know, there's people are going to head back to their tribes tomorrow and sort of rebuild. But tonight is one night of rest in F4. And you come back, and Snow and the butch elven lady are nowhere to be found.
Oh.
Do you
know maybe he's going to have a new life here? We won't dwell.
What did we do with Ganfrow's body?
We buried him.
We buried him, mate.
Nice.
Rue was respectful, like, didn't know if you wanted an invite, so we just didn't.
No, I took a leak, I've got to be honest with you. War Council in the morning.
Yeah.
God.
Cool. You will head off into the sort of makeshift tents and sort of stone sandy yurts that have been made. You will get your full night's rest. You take your long rest. You get all your spells back. Obviously, you've all now leveled up as well. So, we've done that pre-session anyway, but you will have those extra benefits now. Technically, you wouldn't have had them until the long rest, so now you have them. And I don't have another image for the day of this bonfire, so you're going to stare at this one for now.
Could you please pull up the map of the world for me? Yeah.
Of the continent, but yes.
Yeah, of the continent.
Yeah, not
you don't have a map of the world.
Mate.
You don't have a map of all of Thon.
Is everyone okay with me kind of taking the head of
By
War
all
Council?
means, mate.
I've
By
got
all means.
a lot of notes.
I will say, before you begin your War Council, as you sort of wake up and you all come to, Fallon approaches you, Gildor, and she comes and says, I hope you slept well.
Yes. Yeah. Fuck me. We needed that.
We did indeed. I'm sure you will have to be off soon and journey on your adventures, and believe me, I'm not here to stop you in any way. I know how much you need to do this for yourself and for others, and I massively am extremely proud. But I did divine some things during my sleep last night. Slightly less grand in scale was the things that we had done in the past, but it's just fine nonetheless. I know that you have, in your speech last night to the people, denounced the mantle of Master of Mages, and I think me and the rest of the elders will take some time to get used to it, but I do believe that it is for the best, and we do trust you.
It's less of a denouncing of the Master of Mages and more a restructuring of the idea that instead of being the leader of everyone, I am now but a vessel for Zahith. I am our mouthpiece to go out into the world. You know, the weave and magic doesn't just exist in Zahith, it exists everywhere on the known planet. How can the Master of Mages just belong to one nation? I'll travel the world doing whatever I need to do, whilst in the meantime, the government that I propose to be set up will run Zahith, and anything majorly important you can scry to me and we can discuss, and anything that needs to be voted, we can all vote as a democracy. I just thought that was a better way to do it.
She chuckles and says, "You are so unbelievably amazing, you know that, because the words you have just said are almost a reflection of what I divined last night. I was thinking about you before I fell asleep, worrying about your journey across the world and across the plains, as I'm hearing from Sontar. And as I began to trance, I began to see things. I began to hear of trials out in the world for our, not Master of Mages, but whatever moniker you wish to give yourself. But I spoke not directly with Mistra, but I felt her presence, and she showed me 3 trials: a trial of valor, a trial of knowledge, and a trial of power, the 3 pillars of a powerful mage. Lucky for you, the Trial of Valor seems to have already been completed. It was what you did. It was defeating Vilgefortz. It was uniting the nation, and it was ushering in a new age. And Mistra seems pleased with what you have done. The other trials will be slightly more complex, and I must stress, it doesn't seem that there is a time limit. It does not seem that this needs to be done immediately, but along your adventures around the world, seeing the world and learning the mage in your lifetime, it seems that she has some tasks for you. And she goes and she points to the corrupted staff on your back, and she says, I think the first one is to do with that. She showed me a lost library in the Feywild, the lost library of Vanya Ravaris, who you know was the first Master of Mages, Vanya Ravaris. She was a champion of Mistra during the War of the Gods, and she took on the mantle as the first ever Master of Mages. And Fallon carries on and says, within this library, you will find an ancient tome that, once read, will cure this staff of its corruption and allow you to wield it with the power that it should be imbued with. And the other trial, the Trial of Power, it seems that within the kingdom of Elarus, a Rakshasa has taken root in the criminal underworld. It has amassed a great power and has been murdering innocents, trapping their souls for some corrupted magical ritual. In case you're unaware, a Rakshasa is a master of lies, of deceit and disguise. It's almost perfect as a trial for a divination wizard like yourself, and is also a fiend. So once slain in the material plane, it must then be slain once again in the Nine Hells, in the Chamber of Rebirth, located under the Iron City, within the layer of Dis. I have not got too much knowledge about this Rakshasa, only that it resides within the capital, which is called Sarandul, also known as the City of a Thousand Lanterns. You should, when you get the chance, journey here, defeat this Rakshasa and stop it from regaining immortal life by destroying it once and for all in the Chamber of Rebirth in Dis. Above table, for completing the Trial of Power, for the Trial of Valor, you have been rewarded a boon, a magical boon, the boon of Valor. So,
give him a boon.
It's a homebrew boon. It's not as powerful as that sort of boon. Don't worry.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I was just like, what?
That's like a level 20 thing. Don't you worry. It basically means that once per long rest, you have the ability to imbue any spell of your choice with any sorcery metamagic. So the sorcery metamagic is stuff like you can re-roll certain die of a damage if you rolled ones, for example, on damage. You can change the element of a spell, so a fireball can be a ball of ice or a ball of lightning. You can twin a spell, so it can target two targets rather than one. I'll give you a whole list of them after the session. But once per day, any spell you cast, you can imbue with a sorcery metamagic.
Sweet.
And you will also receive other boons for completing your other trials as and when you go and do that within your world.
When the fuck is Jaff getting his boons?
Jaff got a fucking glaive that gets better every time you kill someone. That's his fucking boon.
Can I interrupt Fallon and say, this City of Iron in the Hells that you described, is it the one we saw in the Fire Gazing?
She says, I believe so. I'm not the most versed on the Hells, but I do think that you could be correct. And she says, oh, and you've reminded me, a little gift for you, Gildor, on your journey. And she reaches into her pouch and she pulls out a small crystalline shard, red, fire red with a glow. She hands it to you and says to you, let me just double check I get the correct name of it. Here, it's a piece of the fire that we use for Urelith, condensed into a crystalline form. When you eventually are able to scry, you can use this when you have fire around you, and it won't cost you any spell power. So basically, once a day, when you eventually learn to scry, if you have access to a campfire and you put this fire in the campfire, you can ritual cast scrying rather than using a spell slot.
You can do the fire gaze.
Oh, that's
sick.
It's not fire. You can't fire gaze exactly. You can scry. So of course, fire gazing is also like past future stuff. It only really works on a Convergence of Threads. But you can scry as a ritual using this, provided you have a campfire to put it in. And then once the ritual's finished, it will reform into a shard, and you can use that again. It only works once a day.
Sick.
Yeah.
Wait.
So she's giving you a piece of the fire. I can't remember what the name of the fire is. I certainly have to really find it in my notes anywhere, but it doesn't make a difference.
All right, Zarlok, kick her out now before she gives Triple G any more loot.
She says, "No, I will. I'll leave you guys to it. I'm sure you have much to plan, but please do say goodbye before you leave." And she gives you a kiss on the cheek. She says, "I'll be hanging around F4 until you go, and then I'll head back to Concilius once you head out."
The way I see it, we have three things we can do, and two of them seem pretty shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So, shit thing we can do, number one, go to the Underdark, because there is clearly something to do with this dragon Umbrasil going on in the Underdark.
Yeah.
Now, it seems to fuck up pretty much everyone who goes there, so it doesn't seem like a preferable choice, but we're probably going to have to go there at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Two.
Yeah. Is this shit thing number 2?
Shit. This is equally probably shit thing to do at this point. Now, I'm not going to delve into this Dragonborn sorcerer stuff because fuck knows what's going on with that. But we got the names of 3 different people that are seemingly leading this ritual that is going on. Now, I know that one of them will be in Northspire in Azureth.
Yeah.
That is the capital of Azureth, and storming in there trying to kill the steward, or at least get to the steward, not going to be particularly easy. This Ragrim also, I guess, goes back to the Underdark. He's also down there, so it is kind of 2 in 1 in the Underdark. But
I will say you do know that you don't know exactly his exact location, but you do know that Ragrim left the Underdark to take over Skarnus.
Okay.
You don't know where he's currently residing. It's sort of not common knowledge. But he could be anywhere. Either it could be Underdark, it could be Skarnus, it could be somewhere else. You don't really know.
Underdark, we've got the dragon. Skarnus, we've got Ragrim. Northspire, we've got
Steward.
Antoine. All of them seem like pretty rough goings of it. Then finally, the one that seems preferable but equally shit is going to the Shadowfell, and I'll kind of reiterate what I was told by the leader of Precida, that there is this person who can plane shift us there, but they're a bit mental and a bit of a loose cannon and seem like they could also be a liability. And currently we have no way of getting to the Hells, but it seems like Triple G's trial and tribulations, if we were to side quest on that, would give us a way to get to the plane of hell which we need to get to. So those are kind of what turns out to now be like 5 options.
Okay. let's go around one by one and see what people think about those options, because I agree with them. That's what we've got.
Well, you said you don't know anything about Maleficum, the Shadow Sorcerer, but Shadow would imply that Shadow fell. That would also be a 2-for-1.
Potentially.
You also remember, by the way, I will just say, just because I know there's a lot of you read a lot of handouts today. In the notes in the Primordial, that the sorcerer wished to handle that one personally, the Shadowfell stuff. So there is that as well.
That's kind of a 2-for-1.
Because okay, well that, I'm just putting it out there. It's still a shit thing.
I don't think any of them are good.
No, none of them. We just got to figure out which one is slightly more ideal.
Where's your vote going then?
I think potentially North Spire first. Okay. Yeah, I do. Because then we can do the under stuff, the shadow stuff. The
shadow stuff is down here in Zahith. We have to play.
Oh shit! Well then, do you know what then? Reverse that. Shadow stuff is my first choice because we're here. Then we do North Spire. Then we go under. Are we? We're not under a time limit, you say? There's no time limit.
Well, I mean,
there is kind of.
There is a little bit, but they're preparing this ritual. But...
Fuck, that does feel like let's not fuck about,
Zarlok, from earlier on, by the campfire, picked up 2 rocks, one bigger than the other. And when you was like a kid and you used to like get a rock and like whack it as hard as you could at the other rock to like crack it in half?
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what Zarlok's been doing the whole time and just like not a fucking clue what you're talking about.
Thank you, Zarlok. There's definitely a metaphor in there for us all. I would say that I agree with everything everybody said. I even half agree with Yeg's idea of North Spire. It's just what would the way I'm seeing it from combining both of your ideas, what would fuck us the least in the most efficient order? Like into the underdog.
that's how all great plans are started.
Good brainstorming, Sash, guys. You've done well.
Vilgefortz went and he got bummed. Clearly, we'd know nothing about it there, so chances are we shouldn't go there. We should probably go there last because if we go there with no information, we're going to get bummed.
The underdog.
So that really goes to the back. That goes to the back of the queue.
Yeah.
Underdark is at the back of the queue.
Yeah. Okay, we agree.
Immediate instinct about North Spire was 100% actually agree with Yeg. When I heard all of the stuff, my thought was North Spire, like that's Azureth, that's a home stomping ground. It's also, just by the sounds of it, just a normal fucking guy. Like he's just a regular guy.
We could get. Listen, we've always been good at what we do, so we don't actually need the confidence. But going into Underdark, that's heavy shit. I haven't done that.
I'm immediate instinct was, as much as Luke makes a good point, which I'm about to get to, like if you're saying, plane shift to here, and then we've got to go through and discover all this bullshit, or we go to North Spire, where it's the capital of our fucking homeland. Yeah. It's only so big. We know the guy is like, what is he, fucking leader or something? He's like, what was his official job title?
He's the steward. He rules Azureth.
He's the steward?
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes it slightly more complicated, but
roll history checks for me. Not you, Jaff, because you are from Azureth. You know the history of Azureth, but the rest of you guys who aren't from Azureth. Triple G, you know that the royal house of Azuram has actually ended. The family passed away from a debilitating illness that sort of wrecked throughout the whole family, and Antoine Platisse is sort of serving as the steward until there has been a decision on who is to rule Azureth going forwards. So he's been the steward for around about 7 years, him being sort of the leader of a small council of people. So he does rule Azureth. He's also the one that allowed the hill and the mountain dwarves from Skarnus to reside in Stone Hollow Fortress when they retreated. He gave them refuge there.
So he's not actually a royal family member. That's good to know.
Yeah.
He was actually a brother-in-law to the previous king.
He's giving me. Fuck, I forgot his name from Baldur's Gate 3.
Gortash.
He's giving me Gortash vibes. He's giving me.
Fucking Gortash, man.
He's giving me. Yeah, I'll give you refuge in our country, and then he's being a cunt in the background. Anyway, be that as it may. Yeah, I just thought that sounded instinctually more attainable than a lot of the other stuff. But Luke also makes a good point. If we're going to plane shift, we're in the place where we need to plane shift.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know what it's more now comes down to what information will we get, or what things will we get, and what objectives will we tick off. It's clearly between these two. So
Yeah.
what will we get?
I think going to the Shadowfell is a better idea for multiple reasons. First,
What is in the Shadowfell that we're going to get?
So there is part of the ritual. I believe it wasn't the heart. It was
It was the soul, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The soul, yeah.
The soul is in the Shadowfell. Also, side point, Yeg's mum, just like dropping it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point.
Well, yeah.
Yeg's mum's
You keep saying Yeg's mum. It's also Yeg's mum. It's Yeg's mum and dad.
Yes, both of them.
It's both of them.
Yeg's mum and dad.
Actually, fuck Yeg's dad a little bit. Like, it's just the man we're worried about.
Yeg's mum and dad in Shadowfell, the soul. The thing is, if we go to Azureth and just say everything goes well and we're able to get past these layers of guards and armies and whatnot, and we're able to get in there and get rid of him, there's still other people trying to make this ritual happen.
Yeah.
Like,
if
if we get a hold of a bit of the ritual before they can get their hands on it, then we can go hunt them down more easily, I think.
Well, he's part of it, isn't he? The Cult of Darkness. So he's in on it. He's part of it.
He's in on it, but he's one of three. It's like we get rid of him, and yeah, you've cut off the back bit of the worm, but it is just going to grow back. Like,
I was going to say something, but I think it would be extremely redundant and make us go around in circles. But I'm happy.
Go on, say it.
I was going to say, if we go to the Shadowfell and get this thing, and then we go to there, are we just bringing them the thing that they want?
A little bit, but if we go there and they're able to debilitate us to the point of take something off us anyway, they're going to kill us as is. So if we go there and we're not good enough to beat them anyway, then we're just going to die. So
on us.
Yeah, if we die, everyone might as well die. So that makes sense.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. We could always go to Waterside and give it to Derek.
That's
Okay.
We could hide it somewhere.
Yeah,
actually.
Last thing, I think then we lock in the plane shift plan. The last thing I want to know is actually two things. One is to do with the current plan we have. One is a little side note that I remembered. Isn't Zarlok from Skarnus?
He is, yeah.
He's from the mountain range on the border of Skarnus and Denthir, yes.
Zarlok, what information do you have about anything to do with the geezer who kicked everyone out and all the rest of it?
I'll be honest, I have above table. I have no clue.
Yeah. What information does Zarlok have about?
I'll say, Zarlok, roll a history check. Let's see how much you paid attention.
Fucking hell, give it a rest.
It's screaming that 20 on an intelligence check for him. It's actually screaming it.
Right.
Zarlok, you're from like a mountain clan. You're from the Pale Teeth, like a mountain clan. That's the Pale Teeth like sort of exist along this border that sort of separates Skarnus from Denthir and Duskmoor. You don't know too much about the wars that happened on Skarnus. You sort of when your grandfather was in charge, he was sort of more agreeable to the people of Skarnus. He didn't really go down and pillage and destroy their stuff because you could tell they were kind of going through wars. But that all changed when your father took up arms and you sort of just pillaged whatever whatever villages were sort of, they might have just about survived the siege. They thought, well, yeah, we've survived. And then your father would lead everyone down, slaughter everyone, take their stuff and go. So that's all the extent you know of what was going on. It was a bit of a civil war of the people of Skarnus, the mountain and the hill dwarves of Skarnus fighting against the invading force from the Underdark. And then clearly the mountain and hill dwarves lost and left, and you could mop up the scraps.
Okay. Yeah, and now we just need to clarify who the fuck is this geezer we're going to have to bring with us when we plane shift.
Yeah, we're going to have to go talk to Cressida to sort that out.
And we know nothing else other than he's a liability, he's old, he's a bit weird.
I just basically got told that the time he spent there had quite a severe effect
muddled
on
his
him,
brain.
and he's a bit muddled now.
Gee whiz. That's
Honestly,
going to be
just
fun.
got rid of Ganfell, for fuck's sake.
Didn't like the choice of your language there, but I'll let you off. It's been a long...
I mean...
Oh wait, it's the morning. Fuck. Fuck you.
What? Yeah, well, there you go. Sounds like we're all in on
Shadowfell.
plane shift plan. Yeah.
Plane
There we go.
shift, my parents, Maleficum.
Maleficum
And
the soul. Whatever
yes,
that means.
yeah.
The
So we
soul
can
in a
stop
box,
the ritual. If we
I think.
get the soul and take it for ourselves, we're the good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
So are you looking for Sontar?
That will be
Our next step.
the play, I believe.
Cool. So you have a quick ask around. Sontar hasn't left yet. He's still in F4. He's helping sort of teleport the rest of his fighting troops along. They have to kind of go in batches of about 7 or 8. They can't all fit on the teleportation circles at any one time. And you head over to him, and he recognises you, Jaff, and obviously as you to Gildor, and gives away to the other two and says, gentlemen, I was about to be off. You've come at a good time.
I'm afraid sooner than I expected, we need to ask you for your help in traversing to the Shadowfell.
I see. Are you looking to go as soon as possible?
Now.
All right. Well, SYRELL is back in Presida. He didn't join the fight. We thought it was a bit of a liability to bring him along. So, I've got to send these guys off. You can jump on the next teleportation circle with us, and we'll be there in a jiffy.
Oh my goodness. Amazing. Have I ever used one of these? This sounds fun.
Teleportation circles are kind of like you have to draw a circle where you want to go. It's a very expensive and long and arduous enchantment. So each of the villages have their own, and then the mage on the other side basically draws a circle on the ground, steps in it, thinks of the one they want to go to, and they transport to it. You have to hold hands, that's the only thing. So you've got to stand in a circle and hold hands. So you will stand around a sort of carved arcane purple set of sigils in a circular pattern. You will hold hands, and a purple energy glow sort of domes around you. And in a flash, you see Wyatt. You then are traveling through a black expanse of almost like space. With most of you don't see this, but Gildor, as you're someone that's like versed in the weave, you actually see these faint connecting purple strands that are the weave that are connecting everything to everything. You're sort of transported along one of those, and within a second you open your eyes and you are standing now in a different village, a different tribe, the tribe of Presida. In description, I guess, is slightly more stony, less sandy. It's near the border of Elaris, which is a bit more verdant and green. It's hotter here, and the elves are still dressed fairly simply, but there are a few half elves here, which you've not really seen any half elves in Zahith. Being so close to the proximity of Elaris, there has been some fornication with the more mortals that live within Elaris that are sort of joined the population of Presida. But Sontar says, "Follow me. We'll head over to where SYRELL stays, and I'll introduce you." So you all head over, and Sontar knocks on the door, and he says, "I don't really want to stay with SYRELL for too long. He's got a caretaker named Yoran, a little half-elven man, a bit of a scholar, who knows probably more about the Shadowfell than I do anyway. So I'm going to leave you guys here." And he sort of quickly runs off, and before you have a chance to sort of call out to him, Joran opens the door and says, SYRELL, we have guests. And as you enter a very humble abode, you see an elven man. Most elves are quite tall. He's short. He is more like a halfling size. Something has gone wrong with him where he's stunted. He's extremely skinny, like he is just skin and bone, and he is practically naked. He's wearing like a green sort of loincloth, but it sort of comes up with like suspenders almost over his shoulders, and it barely covers like his arse and his dick. Like he is pretty much apart from that naked. He's got a big long white beard. He's got like balding like crown of his head with like white hair on the side, and he is like got a little wooden staff. It's like just a bit of a wooden bit of a tree. It doesn't look like well crafted anyway, and he literally skips up to you guys, and immediately he sniffs you. Yeah, and he starts sniffing you. Hello, I'm SYRELL. How are you guys doing?
Hello, mate. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm great. Hi. Hey, so I'm SYRELL. How you guys doing?
We're great.
Good. Yeah, I'm SYRELL. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. I have one thing to ask, and one thing only. Can you get us to Shadowfell ASAP?
Oh, the Shadowfell. Oh, we can go see the bog. Oh, yes. It reveals the truth. Okay. Oh, look, you got to remember, looky at the mirror pools. It's good to see what might be.
Okay.
Oh, when we go, can we go to the theatre, please? I've always wanted to go to the theatre. I didn't get a chance to go when I was last there. Oh, please.
Theatre, anyone?
Show. Yeah, he sees the loot on your back. Let's see, you're a musician. We could play a song. We could have to play. Yeah. We could have like a warrior, and it could be a love story with a bit of comedy and action. Oh, yeah, please, can we go to the theatre? Oh, and don't forget, bring your wallet. Bring your wallets. We've got to go to the Black Bazaar. We have to go to the Black Bazaar.
Zarlok's going to hit you.
To my friends, the Ravens. Oh, they talk to me. It's been so long.
Zarlok's just gonna reach down and just grab his face and cover his mouth and just hold his face.
He's like,
he's not gonna hurt him. He's just gonna fucking grab his face.
SYRELL.
He uses an enhanced message cantrip to speak to you guys in your head. He says, I can't wait to speak to my friends, the Ravens. Oh, it's been so long. They talk to me, you see. The Black Ravens.
I would crush your skull.
It's not too late to go to Northspire.
Take us to Shadowfell ASAP, or you're gonna die. That is.
His caretaker Joran puts an arm on his shoulder and says, SYRELL. I can hear myself again, Fred. Sorry. SYRELL, calm. These are our guests. We have to make them welcome. What do we do when we have guests? And as you remove the, he mumbles into your hand, and you remove the hand. He says, "Okay, I'll get them a drink." And you will take a seat around a little table, and he runs off to like a small little kitchen area. He like hops on his way and like clicks his heels together, and he rubbles around in the thing, and he brings you all back a like ceramic mug of a dark brown liquid. You're not quite sure what it is, but he offered it to you. He says, please, drink. He has one for himself, and he necks it down in one as well.
Yeah, sure, I'll do it.
You drink it. It is literally sandy, muddy water.
Oh, fuck me.
Like there is like grit and gristle, and like you see there's a couple of bugs floating around it that you just sort of feel in your mouth, and like Yeah, a little bit of pond scum at the top, and he's next it down. Oh, you like? Should I get you another one?
Fuck off! Fuck off! You pushed my buttons immediately, all of them, all at once.
Right, Joran says, right, SYRELL, let's listen to the nice men, okay? All right. So you guys want to go to the Shadowfell? Yes.
Yes. Sontar brought us here, and he said that SYRELL would be able to help us traverse to the Shadowfell.
Yes, I guess that is the truth. He would be able to get you there. I must warn you, as you can probably tell, he is different to the rest of us. The Shadowfell definitely took its toll on him while he was trapped there. You see, he was a novice mage all these years ago, and he was misdrawing his runes, I guess. He wasn't meant to go to the Shadowfell. He was simply meant to go to the Feywild, but they are opposites of each other, and I think he has a bit of dyslexia. He was reading the runes wrong, he drew them wrong, and he ended up in Shadowfell, and it was quite dangerous. We didn't think he was ever coming back, and I think 20, maybe 30 years later, he's just popped back through and has been a bit crazy ever since. I guess the only good thing is that I did get to, I'm a scholar, you see. I'm not a mage myself. I'm a scholar. I'm a studier of planes. Hence why I've come here to study. I was from Alaris originally, and now I live here. And part of my parcel of being able to get some knowledge, I guess, from these elves is I have to look after this one. So if I'd known what I was going for, I probably would have stayed. But we're here now, aren't we?
I am insight check, by the way.
He seems to be telling the truth. He doesn't seem to be withholding any information. You've not really been to Praetor. You don't know the sort of vibe here. It is so close to Elaris, which is a lot more cosmopolitan than normal. So these people are slightly more open-facing. They travel a little bit more. You know, this is where a lot of elves from Praetor go to Elaris to get provisions and stuff, and they have to interact with more normal people, and stuff like this isn't unheard of. It's kind of frowned upon by a lot of the mages, bringing in outsiders to these tribes, and they're always kept with closer attention. But you kind of gather that they just wanted someone to look after this kid, this elf, this nutter elf, and they thought, what's the worst that can happen?
Just so we're not missold PPI here, will he be able to take us there and get us back?
Well, yeah. I mean, the only thing is you have to, I guess, stop him from dying. You have to keep him alive out there. I don't know what your plan is out there, but if you want to get back, I'm guessing you got to keep him alive because he's the only one that can get you there and back. I'm assuming he points to you, Triple G. I'm assuming you're not versed in plane of travel. You haven't quite mastered the spells of the abjuration tribes.
This is an absolute fucking travesty.
That has given me anxiety. That has given me anxiety about the situation that we're in.
From such a high to such a low is honestly insane.
I thought it better to say now so we know what we're getting ourselves in. It's all well and good him getting us there, but he does have to get us back.
Oh
as well.
my god, we're gonna have to keep him alive. We're gonna have to stop him from pissing not only Zarlok off, but me and Gildor and you.
I'm gonna turn to Jaff and say, please tell me this geezer's name is on your sword, please. This is. If not, I'm gonna get a colouring pen out and be like, look, just please.
I will say that SYRELL, this is Joran speaking, SYRELL is mad. Like, he is totally crackpot crazy. But within the madness, he is kind of smart. As in, everything he's spoken about when he returned matches up with what we know about the Shadowfell. You have to read between the lines and take some creative licenses, but here I'll show you. And he draws a small map of the known portions of the Shadowfell.
Oh.
He takes one out. He says, so SYRELL said that when he landed, he landed in a bog of truthfulness and lies. Didn't really make a lot of sense, but it matches up kind of with what we expect from the Murkmire expanse. He then spoke about he could see a valley with warring and a theatre, which is what we expect from the Vale of Hollow Echoes. It's sort of like condensed memories of the dead, and I think there's some scholars believe that there is an amphitheatre there that is a place where souls reenact their final moments beyond going to the afterlife. I should actually preface this, sorry. Do you know much about the Shadowfell in general? Do you have any knowledge of the plane and what it is and how it exists and what it does?
I will be honest, I have no
I definitely
fucking clue.
wouldn't, I don't think, yeah.
No.
Yorona clears his throat and says, so the Shadowfell, it's the twilight reflection of the mortal world. It's a realm between life and death, light and darkness. It's not torment or rest. It's just an echo of existence. And the Shadowfell is the first step in the soul's journey beyond mortality. It is the veil that divides creation and life from the divine and death. Once a soul passes, they first are transported to the Shadowfell. It's the first step before they reach whatever afterlife they are aiming for. They travel through the Shadowfell. It's only meant to be a brief travel, but it's still in an eternity of afterlife. Brief is not really able to be quantified. But through their travels, they travel through the Shadowfell and eventually arrive at the Fortress of Memories. At this point, the soul and the memories are split into two. The memories form something, again, scholars debate whether it is a physical thing or if it is simply just a manifestation of the memories, but the soul goes on to Hades to be judged by Kelemvor, separated from its memories. Kelemvor will look through the memories of a soul and decide what afterlife, if any, that soul is worthy of. He will also see any deities or powerful entities that may have laid claim to that soul. And in extreme cases where there are multiple claimants to a soul, Kelemvor will decide where the soul should go, if the soul should be fractured, and what that might mean for the soul. So the Shadowfell is in a sense, a purgatory. It's the first step on the journey to an afterlife. So it is dangerous, and it is sad, and there's a lot of death and darkness, and I can't really think of many positives. But you seem like you need to go. So if I'm assuming, do you know whereabouts you need to go exactly into the Shadowfell?
I believe it is the Fortress of Memories.
Well, unfortunately, SYRELL can only take you to the Murkmire Expanse.
Yeah.
That's where he was transported. He hasn't seen much outside of it. He pointed out a city of... He said the word shoppers, and that really confused me. So I don't think I know exactly what a shopper is and why there would be shoppers in the Shadowfell. But it kind of sounds like the Veiled City, which is a forgotten city of the Shadowfell back when souls didn't have an afterlife to go through. They would sit here and create a civilization of sorts, and it was sort of ran by souls as well as Shadar Kai, who are almost emissaries of the Raven Queen, the goddess who has laid claim to the Shadowfell. So to reach the Fortress of Memories, you will have to pass through the Murkmire Expanse and the Veiled City, and your choice will be whether to go through the Ashen Paths or the Vale of Hollow Echoes. Unfortunately for you, the Fortress of Memories resides high above an endless chasm with the only connection to the rest of the ground, I guess, a small, solitary stone bridge that connects it from the Veiled City to the Fortress of Memories. So I would say proceed with caution around the Veiled City. It will be by far the most populated area of both souls and dark figures and dark entities. The Murkmire Expanse can be treacherous, so keep your eyes open. And I guess the choice is yours whether you go through the Veil of Hollow Echoes or the Ashen Paths.
Well,
the Ashen Paths we know little about.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Sounds like that. It's just gonna be a bit of a Hail Mary in a way.
The Veil of Hollow Echoes we know as a desolate valley with perhaps a lost amphitheatre. The Ashen Paths varies from scholar to scholar. Some believe it is a way of traversing directly through to the Fortress of Memories. However, others say that nothing alive or dead could survive that journey.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It seems that whatever powers the Shadowfell has a root within the Ashen Paths.
Okay. Well, that's fucked. God, SYRELL
has now had enough of being quiet and says, "So, are we going to the theatre? I really want to go to the theatre. Please, please,
absolutely,
theatre, please.
We will,
I want
mate.
to see a show. Yay, yay, yay!"
God, you sound unenthusiastic about it, which is really pissing me off.
Should I sound more enthusiastic? I can be more enthusiastic. I'm sorry. Yes,
No.
let's go. Yeah,
Okay.
let's go. He starts like doing. Give me an S. Give me a H.
He starts fucking breakdancing.
I'm gonna cast darkness. I'm gonna take on my former dread, and I'm gonna murder him.
You're into SYRELL? Yes. I think these gentlemen want to go to the Shadowfell. I think you're going to be their guide, but you have to promise. I can't come with you. No, I can't. I don't want to come with you, so I'm not going to come with you. So you have to be on your best behaviour. You have to promise me, no funny business, no running off. And if they tell you to be quiet, you be quiet. If they tell you to get out of the way, you get out of the way. And please, don't go running off into the Ashen Path. That's what almost made you crazy. That's what made you crazy last time. Let's not do it again, okay? He nods, says, okay, let's go.
Okay, fantastic.
Cool, I guess we'll end the session there. And next week, we will start our journey to the Shadowfell.
Unreal.
Boom.
Bloody hell.
This is gonna
Jesus.
be stressful.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I didn't get to play beta not long enough. So I was like, you know what? Let's channel that energy into a NPC.
I wrote down in my notes that he's already pissed me off, and he's an annoying little fucker.
Oh, good session though. We had a lot of information. A big lore dump session.
Hell yeah.